Hi everybody, Martyn at Flicking Feathers again today, and I'm tying this wee half hog hopper, quill bodied version. Excellent wee dry fly. Can pull it, streak it across the top like a sedge, fish it as a merger, it'll work when there's olives coming off. Really versatile, really well worth putting in your box. Now it's going in the giveaway box, which is filling up. I'm nearly ready for the first giveaway of the year. And if you want to be entered into the giveaways, there's a Patreon link in the description, or a PayPal link. Any supporter of the channel is entered into the draws. Alternatively, you can like the video, share the video, watch it all the way to the end, and definitely leave a comment below. All of that does help the channel to grow, and is very appreciated. So I've got my hook and my vise. I'm using the short shank special, size 12. 8s, 10s, 12s, 14s with these, right? Probably. Most people are probably going to carry 10s and 12s. Obviously you're basically going down a size with the short shank, but you've still got that wide gape, which is really nice and grabby. And I've run on some light olive uni in 8/0, and I'm going right round the bend, really all the way around, so that I'm, you know, if I go to the point, it's maybe about a 30-degree angle. And now for the body, I'm using the fully mill stripped quills, and this is bright yellow olive that I've got here. Just take one away. I'm going to tie it in by the thick end, basically as close as I can go. Oh, I've ripped it. Just need to be careful, they are very delicate, as you know. Try that again. There we go. And I'm going to come up with my thread and touch and turns. Right, I mean, the thickness of the quill I'm not worried about as far as the body thickness, but I'm coming up and touching turns, and I'm going to come, so the end of the abdomen is going to be just ahead of the point of the hook, but I'm going to come slightly further. Then I'll go back, and I'm not going all the way around. I'm going to come till the thread's like at a 45-degree angle to the point. Maybe one more turn. Then I'll skip it up so that if I hang it, it's in line with the barb. Right, so that's maybe came 3/4 of the way back, and I'm up to like back up to the halfway point in that body, and then I'm touching turns again, and that gives me a nice sort of tapered underbody, and I've built it up just enough. So I'm going to wind this rib, the quill, coming up, open turns. I want it to be a rib, I'm not doing a full quill body. That gives you a nice sort of segmented effect. Trim that away. Show you what, finish this. A half hitch, and then I'm going to come in with my varnish. Right, now I prefer varnish for this because the varnish never lifts off. Right, it soaks in as long as you come right down onto the hook. It never lifts off and turn white. The UV resin can. Right, varnish is better. Like any of us that are old enough to remember before UV resin, you know, a lot of us have gone back to it. Gone back to the varnish, and it's not even actually slower, right? Like, I've taken that off. I haven't picked up a light. I've picked up the one before. I've not picked up a light, I'm ready to go. Right, varnish does take longer to dry, but you don't need to have the hook in your vise. Right, you don't need to be working on it So I'm going to just start the same thread, and I'm going to come back, as I said, just to sort of in front of the hook point. I'll let my thread run up onto that underbody, come about there, and then I'll get ready for my first bit of wing. I'm just using natural road here. I like the kind of dark tip. This isn't super dark, but it's dark enough. I'll take a small bunch. I'm going to stack it because the tips of this here's all over the place. They're nowhere near close enough to tie in as they are. So clean at the bottom with a lice comb, and then in the stacker. Right, so the wing length, it's kind of up to yourself. I kind of like to just come to the back of the hook more or less. Right, obviously, I mean, if it's dead long, you might as well just tie a full hedgehog. So I like to sort of come back of the hook, or thereabouts, and just come in, pinch that in, 2 or 3 wraps, just check the length. Maybe a wee bit short there. Move it back just a shade. Better. 2 or 3 turns, I'll just come in, trim my waist. And don't be tempted, you don't need to put a big heavy wing on, right? You're putting the layers on, so you know, I'm going to tie 3 wings on. I don't need them to be bulky. Each one can be small and I'll get plenty of flotation when they add up. So for the thorax, I'm using, this is one of my own mixes. It's I dyed a hare's mask fluorescent yellow, stripped it, and I've blended it with some Spectra flash dubbing and a bit of fluorescent yellow ice dub. So there's wee bits of UV, and there's, although it's that kind of dull yellow olive, dirty yellow olive, it responds to the light, both in terms of the colour and you've got the reflection. I mean, I don't really believe that UV is what's making the difference. I think the fluorescence and the flash, I think the fish just like that purple colour of the UV flash, because that what we can see in the visible spectrum, that purple, that's also similar to what a trout can see. The adult trout don't see in the UV spectrum. So anyway, a wee bit of that, and I'm going to come in with another wing. Similar amount of hair. Again, just clean it, get it in the stacker. Now I want to make these, the wing will be basically the same length, obviously because I'm tying it in further forward, the tips are further forward, right? So the tips are progressing forward, basically. Get that in, see how we are. No bad. Now when you put the legs in, that's up to yourself. Generally I like to put them in here before the final bit of dubbing and wing. You can put the dubbing on, tie the legs, tie the last wing, up to yourself, right? I just using pre-knotted pheasant tail. I need 6, 3 either side. I mean, if you want, you could add 8 for so you've got an extra for security. They're not the most durable, but That's fine, that's up to yourself. So I've got my legs here, I've got 6. I'm just going to take my dubbing needle and separate them 3 and 3. Right. Kinda. Right, sometimes they're kind of tricky, but you just be patient, get them there. So that's 3 on either side. I'm just going to come in. Length, I don't like them too long, right? I want them just sort of coming beyond the back of the fly. So the tips of the legs are like here. Right, that's enough. When the fish is looking up, it will see them. I mean, if you believe that they really make a difference. So just catch them in, give them a wee check, see how they are. That's no bad. Trim away. Relick of wax. Catch that with that in. And back up. Come back to my dubbing. Again, you don't need a lot. I'm going to just sort of get that in. I'm not too worried about it being super tight. That's a wee bit loose. I'm just going to leave myself a very small amount of space at the front for the final wing. And it's up to you. I mean, you could just you could have tied that dubbing section a bit longer, had the wing, then had the dubbing head, and just the 2 bits of hair. Or you can tie in a wing and just put a thread head. I'm going to put a sort of elk hair caddis style head on this, so this final bunch will be slightly heavier, right? Not much, just a bit more, just so I've got the butt pieces to make the head. So again, I'm going to have to stack this here, so I'm cleaning it. Right, I want all the under fur out, all the rubbish. In. Broken end there, I'll just take away. And it's the same thing, I want the tips to be progressing forward, so the wing's still got to be the same length. I'm just going to come in, put that tight, and I like to cut through the ends, right? Come back up even, and go through again, right? Lift all this, get a thread turn in at the hook eye. Right, just slid a wee bit forward there, but that's no a problem. You'll see I can just, I'm going to push this hair back anyway with the thread, so I can just get my thumbnail and just drive it back a wee bit. If you break some, you break some. Now, you can either whip finish here, which is a wee bit easier, but what I'm going to do is come in and trim that to the head, and then I'm going to sort of push it back. A couple of extras I missed. And sort of see, I like to see what the wee head's like, because I can run my thread through it again to sort of encourage it to go a certain way, which I'm just going to catch that. You'll just see you'll get a wee bit extra flare, and that's no bad there. And that just obviously gives you a bit more disturbance when if you move the fly on the top, you know, so you can sort of, you can skate it. So a wee whip finish, nice and tight. You can come in with the Velcro, pull some of that dubbing out. I'll come in, trim my thread. I just, that wee bit of where the knot is, I just absolutely flood it with varnish. Don't worry about filling the eye. You can clean it. And there you go, that's the fly done. Excellent wee pattern. Really, really effective. Wild brownies, love these. Works great for rainbows as well. Stockfish, once they go into natural food, they just eat these. So I hope that was useful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up below, and I'll see you for another one. Tight lines, guys. Bye.